Imagine a small island, barely a dot on the map. This was Singapore in the early 1960s. The island was a melting pot of cultures, a tapestry woven from threads of Chinese, Malay, Indian and European heritage. Yet, beneath this vibrant surface lay a nation grappling with immense challenges. Poverty was rampant, casting a long shadow over the lives of many. The streets were crowded, not with the bustling energy of a thriving economy, but with the despair of unemployment and lack of opportunity. Singapore was a nation on the brink, teetering on the edge of uncertainty. The island's infrastructure was crumbling, a stark reminder of the tumultuous years of World War II. The echoes of conflict still reverberated through the streets, a constant reminder of the fragility of peace. The scars of war were not merely physical but also deeply etched into the collective psyche of the people. The weight of these challenges pressed heavily on the shoulders of the newly elected government. For centuries, Singapore's fate was intertwined with the ambitions of global powers. Its strategic location at the crossroads of ancient trade routes attracted the attention of empires seeking to expand their influence. The British, recognizing the island's strategic importance, established a trading post in Singapore in 1819. This marked the beginning of a new era for the island, one that would see it transformed into a bustling entrepot, a vital link in the chain of British imperial commerce. The British brought with them their laws, their language, and their way of life. Singapore became a melting pot of cultures, a place where East met West, and where the traditions of Asia intertwined with the customs of Europe. The island's population swelled, as people from across the region flocked to its shores, seeking opportunity and a better life. However, this period of rapid growth and development came at a cost. The outbreak of World War II shattered the illusion of peace and prosperity that had come to define colonial Singapore. In 1942, Japanese forces launched a surprise attack on the island, overwhelming the British defenses and sending shockwaves throughout the region. The fall of Singapore, once considered an impregnable fortress, marked a turning point in the war in Asia. The Japanese occupation of Singapore was a period of immense hardship and brutality. The island's resources were plundered to fuel the Japanese war machine, and its people subjected to forced labor and unspeakable atrocities. The horrors of the occupation left an indelible mark on the psyche of a generation, shaping their worldview and fueling their desire for self-determination. The end of the war in 1945 brought with it the promise of a new beginning. The British, weakened by the conflict, returned to a Singapore that was physically and emotionally devastated. The seeds of independence sown during the tumultuous war years began to sprout. In the aftermath of World War II, the winds of change swept across Asia, carrying with them the intoxicating promise of independence. The British Empire, once a colossal force on the world stage, began to crumble under the weight of its own contradictions. In Singapore, the desire for self-governance intensified, fueled by the burgeoning nationalist movements that emerged in the post-war era. The people of Singapore, no longer content with being ruled from afar, demanded a say in their own affairs. In 1963, after years of political maneuvering and negotiations, Singapore achieved its long-cherished goal of independence. However, this independence was short-lived. Driven by the desire for regional stability and economic prosperity, Singapore joined Malaya, Sabah, and Sarawak to form the Federation of Malaysia. However, this union proved to be short-lived, fraught with tensions and mistrust. The merger was marked by political and social unrest as ethnic and ideological differences between Singapore and the Malayan government came to the fore. The tensions reached a boiling point in 1965, culminating in Singapore's expulsion from the Federation. Section 5. The Birth of a Nation. On August 9, 1965, Singapore was thrust onto the world stage as an independent nation. The island nation's separation from Malaysia was not a joyous occasion, but a moment of profound uncertainty. The fledgling nation faced a daunting array of challenges: a lack of natural resources, a fragile economy, and deep-seated ethnic divisions that threatened to tear apart the very fabric of society. The man tasked with leading Singapore through these turbulent times was Lee Kuan Yew, a charismatic and pragmatic leader who would come to be known as the father of modern Singapore. Lee Kuan Yew possessed a clear vision for his nation to transform Singapore into a beacon of prosperity and stability in Southeast Asia. Under Lee Kuan Yew's leadership, Singapore embarked on an ambitious nation-building project. The government implemented pragmatic policies designed to attract foreign investment, foster economic growth, and create a more equitable society. Education was prioritized, with a focus on developing a skilled and adaptable workforce. Section 6. The Architect of Modern Singapore. Lee Kuan Yew's leadership was characterized by a unique blend of pragmatism, discipline, and an unwavering belief in the potential of his people. He understood that for Singapore to succeed, it needed to shed the shackles of its colonial past and embrace a new national identity. This new identity would be forged not on the basis of race or religion, but on shared values of meritocracy, multiracialism, and a relentless pursuit of excellence. Recognizing the importance of external security in an increasingly volatile region, Lee Kuan Yew adopted a pragmatic foreign policy that prioritized diplomacy and regional cooperation. Under his leadership, Singapore played an active role in regional organizations like the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, promoting dialogue and cooperation among member states. Domestically, Lee Kuan Yew's government implemented a series of tough but necessary measures to address the challenges facing the fledgling nation. Recognizing that corruption was a cancer that could erode public trust and undermine economic growth, Lee Kuan Yew adopted a zero-tolerance approach. Section 7. A legacy forged in steel and determination. Lee Kuan Yew's legacy is a subject of much debate, both within Singapore and beyond its borders. His admirers point to his remarkable achievements in transforming Singapore from a poverty-stricken backwater into one of the wealthiest and most stable nations in the world. They credit his visionary leadership, his unwavering commitment to meritocracy, and his tough stance on corruption for laying the foundation for Singapore's economic miracle. His critics, however, argue that his authoritarian tendencies, his suppression of political dissent, and his tight control over the media came at the expense of civil liberties and democratic freedoms. Despite these criticisms, there is no denying that Lee Kuan Yew was a towering figure who left an indelible mark on Singapore and the world. His brand of pragmatic authoritarianism, while not without its flaws, proved to be remarkably effective in delivering tangible results for his people. His unwavering focus on stability and economic progress enabled Singapore to defy the odds and achieve what many thought was impossible. Lee Kuan Yew's legacy continues to shape Singapore today, even though he passed away in 2015. Singapore today is a testament to Lee Kuan Yew's vision and the hard work and resilience of its people. Section 8. Prosperity amidst adversity. Singapore's economic transformation is nothing short of remarkable. In just a few decades, the island nation has gone from being a developing country, highly dependent on foreign aid, to a global financial hub and a high-tech manufacturing powerhouse. This remarkable transformation is a testament to the vision of its leaders, the hard work and ingenuity of its people, and the government's commitment to creating a business-friendly environment that fosters innovation and attracts foreign investment. Key to Singapore's success has been its ability to adapt to the changing dynamics of the global economy. The government has consistently invested in education and infrastructure, creating a highly skilled workforce and a world-class business environment. It has also embraced globalization, positioning Singapore as a gateway to Asia and a hub for trade, finance, and technology. The government's pragmatic approach to economic management, its focus on long-term planning, and its commitment to fiscal discipline have all contributed to Singapore's economic resilience. Singapore's economic success has translated into a high standard of living for its citizens. However, this prosperity has come at a cost, with criticisms of a highly competitive and stressful society. Section 9. A global blueprint. Singapore's remarkable transformation from a struggling developing nation to a global economic powerhouse offers valuable lessons for other countries seeking to chart a path towards prosperity. Its success highlights the importance of strong leadership, sound economic policies, and a relentless focus on education, innovation, and good governance. Singapore's experience demonstrates that with the right mix of vision, determination, and a willingness to embrace change, even the most daunting challenges can be overcome. However, it's important to acknowledge that Singapore's model is not without its critics, and its unique circumstances may not be easily replicable in other parts of the world. The Singaporean model, with its emphasis on meritocracy, pragmatism, and a strong role for the state in economic development, has been both praised and criticized. Its admirers point to its track record of success in delivering economic growth, social stability, and a high standard of living for its citizens. However, critics of the Singaporean model argue that its emphasis on order and efficiency has come at the expense of individual liberties and political freedoms. The debate over the Singaporean model is likely to continue, with proponents and critics engaging in a lively exchange of ideas about the best path to development and the balance between economic progress and political freedom.